Well, the Dome Stand continues as the Orange welcome Duke this weekend. That means another Perry's Inside Scoop. Orange head coach Dino Babers joins us. And, Coach, last time we did one of these, we talked a couple of weeks ago, and at that point the Dome was just kind of a theory. You were getting ready to go in for an early morning practice and then the game, obviously, and now not only the game, but you saw it all and you can remember it with a win. What are your takeaways from that experience?
First of all, the venue is unbelievable. What a great job that everyone's done. I can't wait for the community and the student body to get an opportunity to come in there and share it with us. And I really think it's going to be a fantastic home field advantage.
As you know, you wouldn't have remembered it as fondly if you didn't come out on the right side of the scoreboard. It's a nice new scoreboard up there. You want to have more points on it at the end of the day. What was your takeaway from the game?
My biggest takeaway was I said we took the ball and I said we're going to take the ball. I said there's no way that we're going to let someone else put 7 points on that scoreboard before we get an opportunity to put 7 points on it. But I had no idea it was going to be something that Sean Tucker had planned, where he was going to make that amazing run, and rightfully so, to put us up there 7-0, and then between the defense and Trill and all those guys scoring points, it really turned into a fun evening. I did get ripped. I know this is long, but I did get ripped at home because I didn't get us to 44, where if we could have got an opportunity to score, it could have been 44 on the scoreboard. So I do apologize to everyone and my family for not being able to get the score to 44.
All right, something to shoot for in future games. Now, you use the expression take the ball, and in that context, you're talking about take the ball on the opening kickoff. But what you really did all day was take the ball away. 5 takeaways from Georgia Tech. And that, to me, is an interesting part of this matchup with Duke. And I know sometimes it's the bounce of the ball, but it's not a fluke that Syracuse has been so good in takeaways, really 2 and 3 years running. And coming into this game, Syracuse is one of the best in the country in turnover margin, and Duke is one of the worst. How do you see that as an element for this game? And is it something, Coach, you feel like your team is actively doing to thwart their possessions and get more of yours?
You know, we work really hard on creating turnovers in practice. I think all teams do, but we really do emphasize it. We work really hard in not turning the ball over. And we want to be aggressive on defense, and we want to be aggressive on offense. And we understand that if you're aggressive, you know, turnovers are going to happen, but you want to keep them down to a minimum. We had early in the season, we had a bunch of sacks. Last game, we had 1 sack. Early in the season, Duke's had a bunch of turnovers. I do not anticipate a David Cutcliffe team coming here and turning the ball over as much as they have. My way is we've got to play it like they're not going to turn that ball over that much, and then we still got to find a way not only to move the ball on their defense, but find a way to stop them from moving the ball on offense.
I know you have a great deal of respect for Coach Cutcliffe. You make reference to it and certainly did last year, although your team won that game handily. What does he represent in your mind?
He represents the old school, and he's the bridge between the old and the new, and I mean that as a compliment, that those guys that have been around a long time, and really you don't stay around a long time unless you know what you're doing, aka basketball coaches, football coaches. If you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to stay around a long time. And he has. And when you're going against those guys, you're playing against some of the chess masters of all time. So right when you think you've got something is right when they take it away from you, and that's exactly the feeling I've got going on right now. It's interesting that the bettors got us as an underdog in this game, and rightfully so. I mean, I think that guy has unlimited knowledge, and I'm really fearful of some of the stuff that he can pull up, and we're us having to be able to adjust to it during the game, and having to make the right adjustments to have an opportunity to win.
That guy meaning Coach Cutcliffe. I thought you meant that guy meaning Vegas, because they know what they're doing too most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt. Those casinos are nice, and there's a reason why.
Yeah, they're built with money they get from the suckers. You know, the last thing, Coach, is the other end of the spectrum. You're talking about the benefit of experience and wisdom. A lot of what's happening for you right now positively on the field is being done by freshmen. And there's no guarantee that Sean Tucker comes back with another 100-yard game. It's been a while since there's been a 100-yard game by a freshman anyway. But what does that mean to you, that some of these guys are coming in and making immediate contributions on both sides of the ball?
It's actually a good and a bad. The bad is that you're probably having injuries, which we're having, or you've got some younger guys making moves on older guys, And that normally doesn't happen unless there's an injury or there's not the development that should be going on in the program. The flip side of that is that you're recruiting correctly, and you're picking the right guys to come in here and to change the face of the program for a long, long time down the road. And you've only called out 3 guys, Jihad, Hannah, and Tucker. But there's more than that underneath that. I really think that this is a really good class. And hopefully as the season goes on, not because of injuries, but because of development, the community and yourself gets to see a couple of more.
Well, quickly on that as a follow-up, the very idea that the best player plays and that a freshman is going to have an opportunity has to spark even the upperclassmen, right?
Well, you know what? It's the only way to do it. I've been a player. There's coaches that played and coaches that didn't play, and it doesn't matter how many games you win or lose it. I don't think there's a real correlation to it. But when you're a player's coach and you've played the game, competition is the key, and just let the best guy play, and then you don't worry about it. And what I tell the young men all the time is, I said, we're going to play the best guy, and it's your job to make sure it's not close so we don't get it wrong. Because if it's close, then you're going to make me make a call. And if I have to make a call, I may not make the call the way you or your mom and dad wants it to go. So in order to take that gray out of it, you just bust your tail and be so doggone good that if we don't start you, we'll have a Rudy situation with about 104 jerseys on my desk that we're starting the wrong guy. So unless we've got one of those situations going on, if I got to make a call, I'll make the call. Your job is not to get me into a Rudy situation. Make sure everybody knows you're the best.
I love it, Coach. You always leave us with an inspirational message in these midweek visits. We wish you the best on Saturday, and thank you for another Perry's Inside Scoop.
Thank you, Matt.